So now we would like to move on to the discussion session. So if you have any question from this session and of course from previous session, please raise your hand and identify your name. Please.
Professor Okubo, thank you very much for very informative presentation about summer schools. Professor Nikos and Dr. Barbara and Dr. Scarlett also mentioned about your summer school or training course. So I would like to know that about more detail about what kind of summer school or intensive short training course was organized at your chairs. For example, I would like to know that the topics of the training course and, for example, duration, 1 week or 2 weeks or 20 days. 20 days looks like very long. And for a PhD student or for master course. Thank you very much.
So the summer school we have offered twice was developed out of the doctoral study program Environmental Protection, which we wanted to partially define or transpond into the English language. So we offered 30 places. We have been sponsored by the European Union Research Agency, so-called Erasmus project, KA plus doesn't matter, it's the acronym. So basically they have asked for 20 places or 30 places. Basically there were students from 3 universities, Bocconi University of Applied Sciences in Vienna and the Brescia University in Italy, and our home university in Ljubljana. So basically 10 students from each of these 3 universities. Master level, even better would be a doctoral level, of course, but we have accepted a few master students as well. Which directions? It can be natural sciences, it can be technical sciences. The first year, 2016, it was about environmental protection. 2017, last year, it was about natural hazards. So 2 topics. Each time students were for 3 weeks engaged into the studies. So the first week they have video lectures on the web available for them. So they have studied that in advance. They have spending one week in Ljubljana, listening to professors and also giving their let's say, proposals about the doctoral thesis. So for them would be very nice if they have been already at the advanced level proceeding to the doctoral thesis so that they can, you know, talk to the others and get some feedback from professors. So the third week was kind of, what we have been seeing like workshops, active involvement of the students as well. Last year we have been that lucky, so to speak, that the second week for the students at that natural hazards workshop or summer school was that they have attended the World Landslide Forum. Fully 4 days plus the excursion on Saturday. So it's a mix partially of field work, presentations, and I think for this amount of energy they have been given 5 credits. I don't know whether in Japan you are fully aware of the European transfer credit system, but 5 credits means that each credit is about 25 to 30 hours of a student work. Half of that is basically contact hours with professors, assistants, tutorials. Half is, of course, homework, working at home, courseworks. So they have been given 5 credits so they can apply. We need for doctoral studies in last year, we have changed from 3 years to 4 years. So you need 240 credits. So one such summer school is 5 credits. It's not very much, but 3 weeks of work. So that's our experience. And we have applied again to the European Union. And hopefully we will be getting additionally 2 or 3 years. But as I said, this program runs that universities apply, their students are then sponsored, and the others, I think they have paid close to 1,000 euros for these 3 weeks, if they have been outside these 3 universities I've mentioned. And about the flood risk management, I think that the application just stopped maybe on 15th of July for the generation 2019-2020. This flood risk management started some time ago, 2011, I think. There are 2 full years of studies. They are moving from Dresden, they're going to Delft. The third semester they are in Barcelona, in Spain. During that stay in Barcelona, they are coming for several weeks to Ljubljana. They are listening to 2 subjects, and the 4th semester is master thesis, 30 credits. That's master course, 120 European credits for full occupation of 2 years. So we are a smaller part, but we have succeeded. I think there was a student from Vietnam, there was a student from Poland, which have then finished using our expertise and knowledge in Slovenia. So they stayed and they proceed towards the master thesis. And for us, it's kind of a joint degree. If you know, there are double degrees. You finish one studies, but you get a lot of certificates. This is a joint degree. So basically, if you finish in Dresden or in Barcelona, you will be given certificate that you can go to Netherlands, because we are in European Union, it's no problem. We are a lot of countries, but basically the system is in a way unified. So if there will be a new application scheme, of course you gladly can apply. I know that for some time there were quite some more applicants as the number of, maybe not 10 to 1 as here, where it was 200 and something, but still, I mean, few times more applicants. So there was a selection procedure. Basically, IHE, which is an Institute on Higher Education in Delft, they were part of the UNESCO community. I think they have lost this title recently, and they've made the selection. So I was not personally involved into selection, but people are coming from many countries. I haven't shown the statistics, but that's one good opportunity. But it is a master level, not a doctorate. Thank you.
Just maybe to clarify, we have like 3 types of such summer activities. One is related to the Central Asia Water Network, and this this is where the tools and methods are introduced for assessment and monitoring of land and water resources in Central Asia. And we basically have a level of master or postgraduate and PhD students for 2 weeks in Almaty with our colleagues from Germany who are flying in to teach them the methods like mainly GIS, remote sensing, and also some of climatology and glaciology. And this is mainly for Central Asians in Afghanistan, because we are funding them fully, and those are the funds which we by now have. Sometimes we have some international students, I mean German students, for this event, and this is we have been doing this for 5 years already, so it's a quite established program, and yeah, for 2 weeks. And then we have also for the 4th time now, it's not really a summer school, if we can say so, because it's usually for young civil servants from the water sector from Central Asian and Afghanistan countries. That's the training on the water governance under the conditions of climate change. And this is where they are coming, depends on up to 5 days to Central Asia for the kind of a legal policy related training. And once, as we had the funds, we brought them also to Germany to show them the sites on the Polish-German border, how to cooperate on transboundary issues. And for the last 2 years, we have also such an actually probably summer events also for Central Asians, but they are different in types. This year, for example, right in 2 days we are starting then so-called expedition for young researchers from Central Asia, going from Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan to the Pamir Mountains, down to Uzbekistan and to the Aral Sea for 3 weeks. So it's like an expedition, and similar in the sense was expedition on to see the renewable resources, energy resources in Central Asia. It was a week trip through Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan. So this is the type of rather hands-on experience where the people go through the region, and this is under this youth network, the Water Forum. And this is basically, it could have been open to anyone, but that's the question of funds. Usually we fund our colleagues from the region, and yeah, so that's it. Thank you.
Okay, so for our case, I think we have every 2-year event. So with that 3 days, we have 2 days as a conference, and 1 day is excursion for senior people, and 1 day for the training workshop. So the target is focused on the ASEAN member, first of all, because we have a 30% quota funded by the university to invite 30% to join the conference and the workshop. And then it should be the young staff of the lecturer in the university that would like to train on the new tools that we are preparing. So mainly we focus on the tools that we like. Today we will Nexus, we find some good trainer, and then try have a preparation before we go to the Bangkok. So they have to read and then train something before, and then they have 1 day to train all the software or the data. They have to prepare the data before they go to Bangkok. So these are kind. So in the meeting in Bangkok is try to reconfirm that they read and then to actual operation. So after they go back, usually sometimes we have the teleconference together because in Satian it's very convenient. So maybe every 6 months or we have the meeting together by teleconference without traveling. So they have a group of the young faculty staff so that they can follow up what they did. So in that case, normally the Chula will be the leader to follow up. So we have the case study in Thailand before. And then this case study will be demonstrate. And they use their own country data, how they about the problem. So it's not a kind of intensive 1 or 2 weeks, but it's 1 day with an intensive one. But after that, we have follow up with the teleconference within among ASEAN countries to go with this. So these are the systems that we set up. So every 6 months, they have the teleconference to follow up the things. And then after that, we have the next issue. So this is something that we are doing. So we have the 3 person for 10 countries, 1 is executive, 1 is the senior, and 1 is the junior, that we have the same interest in that area. So I'll be hoping that if they go back to country, the 3 people can work together with the academy and the government. So have the young staff to train and follow up, back up. This is a kind of things that we are trying to set up. This is every 2 years. But the teleconference is very now convenient. So we have internal learning together.
Just a short question to Professor Okubo. As our Indonesian government increased the concern about heritage sites, so do you have experience related to cultural heritage and disaster risk reduction in Indonesia? First question. The second one is how is the mechanism to collaborate? Our center in collaboration with several agencies in Indonesia to increase the awareness of how to protect heritage sites like Prambanan, Borobudur in Indonesia. So do you have any suggestion related to mechanism? Thank you, Professor.
Thank you very much for your kind question. So unfortunately, still until now, so we don't have the actual project with Indonesia, your country. But of course, we will have the opportunity to work with such foreign countries. So until now, we have a side project with Thailand, Ayutthaya, and also the Nepal, Kathmandu, and in Korea and China, and so on. So. But so our institute is not so huge, and but also we have a former participant from, of course, Indonesia, so that in near future we will have the opportunity with work with our participant coming from the Indonesia. So they already make a kind of the draft. Risk management plan for the Borobudur, so that we hope to work with your country. And the system or management for yes. Okay, so it depends on the situation. in most cases, so we only university, and so as that we cannot do the actual project by ourselves. So as that we need to collaborate with local government or national government for such kind of actual project. For the purpose, each former participant try to, because all of our participants is coming from the young practitioners, not the students. So sometimes we have the associate professor or something, but mainly so we invite the young practitioners at the site. So that through the process, sometimes they start their own project with their own institute or organization at the country. So then so we can access with politicians or local government persons or donors and something. So we also understand the problems. We only the university, so we can only support the each site by some technological solutions or backup with local community meeting or something. So mainly, so we can support them, but software, not hardware. But anyhow, so I hope to do something with Indonesian country. Thank you very much for your point. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I believe there are still some questions that we would like to address. However, we are again behind the time schedule, so let us take a 10 minutes break, and then we will resume the final session from 5:35.